Every day is just one heartbeat away from a headline. This is Hidden Killers with Tony Brueski, featuring retired FBI Special Agent Jennifer Coffindaffer.
Let's watch one more clip of Robert Tellis, because this is the train wreck that doesn't end. Tellis trying to explain DNA underneath the fingernails of Jeff German. As well, he doesn't believe that that's even the case. Let's take a look at this.
You were here yesterday and you talked for approximately 2 hours. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
And then you came here this morning and you talked for another hour or so, correct?
Yes, sir.
There's one thing I didn't hear you mention. The DNA. I'd like to talk about that with you. You're not disputing that your DNA is underneath Mr. Gehrman's fingernails, are you?
Yes, I am.
Okay. But you've heard the testimony. It's there, correct?
I don't know if it was there or at what point it might have gotten there, sir.
Okay. I'm not asking you how it got there. Are you really denying that your DNA is underneath the fingernails?
Without knowing the truth, yes, I am.
Okay. Well, you've heard witnesses testify.
Right.
So the DNA lab's in on it too?
I don't know. I don't know at what point. I don't know what point this sample was collected.
Sir, please tell this jury, how in the world does your DNA get underneath Mr. Gehrman's fingernails?
I don't know, because I did not kill Mr. German.
You have no idea how it could have gotten underneath your fingernails, correct?
Under my fingernails?
I'm sorry, under his fingernails, correct?
I don't know that it ever was, sir.
All right. Let's do it another way. You and Mr. Gehrman are not friends, are you?
No.
Okay, you don't hang out with him ever?
Sir, I did not ever hang out with Mr. German when he was alive.
My question is yes. You didn't hang out with him ever, correct?
I did not.
He's never invited you over to his house.
No, sir.
You've never hung out, had drinks at a bar, correct?
No, sir.
There would be really no opportunity for him ever to put his hands on you in any sort of social situation, correct?
Correct, sir.
And yet, these two people who are not friends, your DNA just happens to be underneath his fingernails, correct?
No, sir.
Okay. You just don't think it was legitimately placed there, correct? Or are you just ignoring the testimony of all of the witnesses that talked about how your DNA was underneath the fingernails?
Again, at some point or another, I believe it was planted because I did not kill Mr. German.
So, and by that logic, if you believe it was planted, you are at least admitting, yes, my DNA is underneath his fingernails, correct? Can you at least agree with me on that?
Whether it came from a sample of the fingernails or a different sample altogether, I don't know. I couldn't tell you, sir.
The answer to my question is yes. You're at least acknowledging my physical DNA is underneath the fingernails.
No, sir.
Okay, great. So you're just going to disregard what all the other DNA witnesses said about this, correct? Okay, that's fair. That's fine. Totally fine.
Yep, that's what I'm going to do, because I'm 5.
Oh my gosh. He should have had an answer ready, Tony.
He just said, I didn't kill him. I didn't kill him. I didn't kill him. I didn't kill him. I didn't kill him over here. I didn't kill him when I'm sitting this way. I didn't kill him when I'm sitting back that way. I just didn't kill him. I didn't, no matter what. I didn't kill him. Yeah, not prepared. He had like 2 years to prepare his bullshit answers for this, and he really did a poor job at that. He should have. I'm surprised he didn't wear the hat into court just for the hell of it. Like, I happen to have the same hat. I bought a new one.
Tony, I don't know why he didn't have an answer for this. He could have come up with so many things. He could have lied and said that he had a meeting with him at one point and had a scuffle that nobody saw. In other words, he could have just made something like that up. Yeah. And they would have asked, well, when, and he could have been ambiguous about when and where it took place, but that it happened, right? Mm-hmm. He could have tried to plant some sort of seed there, or he could have kept along the lines of, well, he thinks that the police took a sample of his DNA and planted it under the fingernails when he was in the morgue. Yeah. Right. He could have, but he never does. He sort of waffles back and forth and then just finally says, like you said, he didn't kill him. I see this so similar. I was thinking about this the whole time he was testifying about that, as about Brian Koberger and his DNA on the knife sheath. Yeah. I was thinking about, there's just no way to explain it. Yeah. He was in a store and touch that? No, it came from Amazon. So how in the world somebody else took it and planted it on there. Well, when did they do that? After it was under Maddie's body? So the whole situation of planting DNA typically is just, it's just didn't happen. And it didn't happen in this case. And that's why he didn't have an explanation.
Well, the DNA, another piece of this, the shoes, and they did talk about that too. And he had pretty much the exact same answer. The shoes that were worn, the cheap Nikes, that all of his coworkers knew that he wore, that was also worn in the scene of the man who killed Jeff German. His DNA is in the shoes that were in his house, the one that was cut up and the one that was not cut up. He's saying that was planted too, that somehow that DNA is there, or maybe it's a duplicate shoe. Maybe it's a different size that the killer wore. It is just shocking. I know. I mean, to a healthy brain, it is shocking, but to him, again, he's just sitting there thinking, makes sense to me. It should make sense to everybody else. That's what makes these people so scary. Not everybody who has a disorder like this goes and kills, but the potential for them to do it and not have any sort of emotional reaction or regard for repercussions is scary. And I think that's why we see so many people that do these things end up, fitting that exact profile.
Yeah, it's true. Somebody once explained narcissism to me this way, and it really helped me understand it. Narcissists, as an example, you'll notice they a lot of times forget money when you go to lunch with them. They're constantly the people that are wanting other people to either pay for them or take care of them or cover this for them, do the administrative work for them, whatever it might be, right?
Yeah.
And how it was explained to me is a true narcissist. And again, everybody has some narcissistic traits, but we're talking about
the disorder.
Clinically narcissistic, is those people truly believe you want to do that. You want to believe them. You want to support them. You want to believe their lies, that you are really, team tell us. And for them to think of the world any other way than everyone thinks like they think, they just can't relate to that.
Yeah.
They truly can't relate.
And they melt down. I mean, if you call them out on it, either they melt down or they just sit there like this and just, nope. Because it's like kryptonite. The reality is kryptonite. And it gets scary if they do start breaking down. Just watching him sitting on the stand and denying it, it's just creepy. But my God. Look at this. I mean, German was calling him out on his stuff. Reality was coming to him. That's where he flipped out because he couldn't handle it. He had to stop someone from sharing these things, allegedly, that he was up to, that he was doing, because why should anyone know about these horrible things that he's doing? Because if no one knows, it's not horrible. But he was being exposed. So rather than just sitting there and denying it because he couldn't stop him, he had to put a stop to him, not just through words, but through actions, which is looking more and more clear like that's exactly what he did.
And Tony, one more point I just wanted to make just about the victim he chose. It really is so important that journalists, true journalists, are able to expose public corruption, are able to expose situations of people like Tellus, and for him to die, basically because he was being a good journalist, because he was doing the right thing in setting forth his opinions and in exposing what he thought was very legitimate. It's really scary. I was looking it up, and I think he might be the only journalist that was murdered this year. And maybe you'll find another, but I was looking for that, and I could only find him as a journalist murdered. And I think that's another reason why this case should really be remembered, is why the murder took place.
You're in the thick of a true crime saga, every detail sinking in, and then, wham, a commercial about something you couldn't care less about. It's like being served a microwaved dinner at a 5-star restaurant. But it doesn't have to be this way. Go for True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts. With True Crime Today Premium Plus, you get uninterrupted, ad-free episodes, extended interviews that dig even deeper into the muck, and early access so you can brag to your friends. It's like ordering the secret menu at a crime buffet. So, search for True Crime Today Premium Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe and savor every twisted detail without interruption.